Good evening. Surprise. It's one day later and I have another reading. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. I'm not sure. I'm sure that a majority of you have seen the video that has surfaced with Putin uh, having a discussion with one of his generals, and he's literally slumping in his chair, and he doesn't have a tight grip on the end of the table, but he's holding the table. And I was watching on my phone an interview on MSNBC with John Brennan, the former CIA director under President Obama, and they were talking about Russia's new strategy of going for the south part, going for the Donbass region, and going after the ports to try to close the ports there and really wreak some havoc with the Black Sea and stuff. But the woman, I don't remember the name of the interviewer, she had said, and one other thing, that we want to analyze now or to take a look at, and she showed the video to him, and he said he said it was obvious he's under a lot of stress with the war not going as well as he thought, with the sanctions that have been put on Russia. Tens of thousands of Russian soldiers have been killed that are affecting, Russian families. And that's kind of like a simple, polite way. Plus the fact, too, what got me, and when they mentioned, too, that it's an actual one-on-one face meeting between the two, not down a corridor type table, but actually there's a distance between the two, which I thought was fascinating. Probably everybody else does too, because he's probably feeling, I'm sure he's paranoid about being taken out or whatever. I mean, but I think that had to be one of the reasons why he was at those long tables to begin with. But for Vladimir Putin to put something out like that, or to allow something to be published, with him not looking as manly as he always took pride in looking, it makes me question why. What was the purpose of that? I don't know. I don't understand the purpose of that, and I'm sure that is being, I can't imagine it's not being shown to Russian citizens. Who knows? I don't know. But wow, that was definitely a shock. And I'm sure to a lot of people, he just looked like he had to keep himself steady, otherwise he's going to slump over even more to his left. And I think there's been speculation that he has been ill, too, and he's trying to solidify his name in history of getting Russia back together and stuff. But there's something definitely wrong. So my question is there something physically wrong with Putin, as suggested by the video we've just seen? Mentally, we know he's an angry man, and it could be, depression, stress, tends to make you feel ill and tired and all that, but that was more someone's a leader, and that's so proud and in charge, like Putin has always been seen as, to to look like that in that state is just it dumbfounds me. So what can you tell us about Putin's health? What can you tell us about Putin's physical health? Is he sicker, or is he sick and it's very serious and nothing's being said, nothing will be said? How is Putin ill, and is it serious? Is he physically ill, and is it serious? How is Putin doing right now? Please tell us how Putin is doing physically right now. Okay, so let me cut the cards. And the first card is, that is the Eight of Pentacles, the craftsman, person that knows his job and does his job very, very well. And he was part of KGB, as we all know, and then he muscled his way and I'm sure killed and poisoned whatever he needed to do in order to come into power. He knows his craft. He is the master. He is a master craftsman. And this is in the past. So, or is this also saying, and I guess we have to find out with the next card, are we saying, is this truly in the past? Was he the master? Now we have the King of Swords. So here's the master of the element of swords, which is communication and legal and thoughts and energy and so on. He is also the master of truth coming out, and that's probably what we're seeing now, just from him. We're finding out all kinds of truths about him, and not that any are really surprising, because we all knew that he was a snake to begin with, but we didn't realize until 5 years ago or so how involved and how much damage he has done, probably to his glee, to so many other countries, democratic countries around the world, because he just was able to do it. And we were, being a global economy and global society now too, things can happen. Russian and Chinese and anything. Anybody can be in touch with anybody and do business with anybody. That made it so much easier. Which is, the global economy is not a bad thing. Doing business with our neighbors and our allies across the pond and around the world is not a bad thing. But I guess we're waking up to, and this is, again, all happening all around. We have France's election come Sunday, and Marine Le Pen has taken money in the past from Russia. I don't think she's ever paid it back, but it's believed that she has a lot of Russian support. She's ultra conservative. It's, yada yada yada, the same thing as what we've seen with UK, ultra conservatism. Trump, just, I think everybody around the world, their eyes are really being opened up now to what extent, to the damage that he's really done. and what a real monster he is. And kind of with him being slumped in that chair and holding on to the table, he looks like he's turning into that monster. His ugliness is starting to show. But right now we are the king of knights. No, the king of swords is showing us we are being revealed the truth, and probably that video is showing us the truth of Putin. He can't hide behind his macho man self, between chosen videos to make him look like he's large and in charge and standing straight up, or again, macho man, the image of him on the horse where he's bare chested and everything. He's not that anymore. And it's kind of, and yeah, I can't help but think when I think of that video of him slumped in the chair, he's now turning more into the troll he really is. And we are seeing actually his real truth, his real essence. We are realizing what he has done, the truth of what has happened in the world because of him. So in the future, okay, so we have the Two of Cups, which is coming together and understanding. Cups are of feelings, of emotions. Marriage, of an understanding. And I don't know what that understanding, who these two represent. I was going to say it's us finally realizing what has happened, but this is about love and about emotion and about celebration, coming together, a plan of being together. I'm going to pull the clarifiers because it's not coming to me. Okay, well, first clarifier is the Nine of Swords, so that kind of suggests to me that there's some anxiety going on there, as Brennan had suggested, sleepless nights. And he also mentioned, too, he's probably having some sleepless nights because of just what he's done. He's kind of dug himself into a hole that he's trying to he can't really find a way or figure out a way of getting himself out of. This is of some kind of support. I want to say the Russian people, but I'm wondering if perhaps, but this is a future card too, so I still don't understand. But this card makes more sense too. There's anxiety. Anxiety can create a lot of physical ailments, and depression, obviously, and anxiety, but also stomach issues and whatever. So that could be taking a toll on him. And also just, what is going on, what he is really literally done with the country, even though he wants to say that, they've succeeded in what they've done. But I think this is also suggesting that there is a worry, there is an anxiety about his health too, not only just about what has gone on, what's been going on, maybe also because of there's worry about his image, about his place in history, and also about his health. Let's see some more. Okay, so now we have this is the Hierophant, which is government, and it's also very spiritual. Also, he's mentally ill, which we knew that. The government could also be putting or the oligarchs. His government is a sham. Whoever's there is at his behest. But there could be a lot of pressure on him from the oligarchs to do something in order to get Russia back on track. And perhaps part of his answer is to now try to take over the ports in the Ukraine so they have the ability to want to block shipments and people in other countries from coming in and out of the Black Sea and everything, which I still don't understand how that would really truly benefit them in the long run, especially if their economy is so bad. But anyway, this is an understanding. This is an understanding. This is understanding between him and the oligarchs, still in the future. But then there's worry. So it's still there. We're finding out the truth. The world is about how bad what he's actually done. The oligarchs are still supporting him to a degree, but there's rumblings and anxiety about their wealth. Heaven forbid, they've lost a lot of yachts and everything, but I'm sure that's mere pennies to them. But they're also afraid of what is going on to the economy, and as each day goes by, as more people are killed, and as the Russian people waken more and become more and more frustrated with what's going on, their anxiety is growing. And how far can Putin is willing to push it as long as he can, take it as bad as all the ways as he possibly can. But there's anxiety with Putin. There's anxiety within the oligarchs as far as like really crumbling their economy and really hurting them. And then you have and the Hierophant. This is kind of him talking to his subjects. This is Putin. And they're listening to him. And whatever he says goes, but there's still worry. They still look at him as being the leader of Russia. Okay, another clarifier. Pull these down a little further for you guys so you can see them all, pretty much. Okay. And lastly, then you have the Ace of Wands, which is new beginning, the beginning of new action. It's fire, it's anticipation, it's like a new start, a new plan taking shape. Which could be part of that could be, okay, the new plan for Russia to now go down and invade more of the south so they can get the ports. But I also want to say it's the beginning of what other the beginning of a new phase, and that could be what we're seeing on the video, that he is ill. There's going to be more people getting involved, perhaps, in the war, or maybe in the discussion. But this is a new project, a new beginning of this whole war, and a new cycle. One more clarify. Like, we're not going to take it anymore. Like, there's going to be pushback. A new cycle, and to me it seems like there's going to be pushback now from people, from more pushback from the oligarchs, more criticism, but from within. It's going to be a tougher phase for him in many ways, a tougher new cycle for him because of what he started, and now he has to figure out a way to make sure that he comes out the winner, and so he can get his reputation back, his legacy sealed. He won't have to feel like he has to look behind his shoulder all the time. But it's definitely a new time for him, because he's never been in this situation before where he's been, I'm not going to say so helpless, but just everything with this whole, the whole thing was wrong to begin with. The whole invasion was wrong to begin with. He should have never done that, obviously. Whether Putin would have ever done that, he did do it with Crimea. But there would have, I think everybody's just shocked as far as how poorly trained and how poorly planned that whole thing was. I remember hearing that the generals were probably telling Putin everything that he wanted to hear, because otherwise, if they didn't, they'd probably get shot or poisoned or whatever. But it's just amazing. But now he's not used to being in this situation. He's never been in this situation. He has to come up with a new plan, a new way of dealing with this, or else. And we won't be wondering as far as why he's slumping in the chair anymore. as he's giving an interview. He could be just slumping in a chair, if you know what I mean, if he doesn't succeed. Still not anything about, really about his health. I think he's anxious. I think he has the mental clarity still. It just, to me, just looking at those pictures, I don't think anybody else can not see it and come away with thinking like, oh my God, what is wrong with him? Let's get one more card. And we have the devil. All right. His toxicity, being chained to everything that's evil, doing everything that's evil, being able to play people and play the world against each other for so long, is maybe finally catching up to him. He is a devil. And he's ugly. And whatever rumors there have been in the past as far as him possibly having Parkinson's disease, he didn't look like okay, here's a possibility. I'm just putting it out there. Him slumped over, but he was grasping the table. But he wasn't grabbing it. He had his hand under the table, but it looked more like support than it. It wasn't for support his body. It definitely, because there was no real weight on it. I wonder if it was because with Parkinson's you have tremors. I wonder if that was to keep his hands still. Interesting. And Parkinson's tends to rot away people over time. And this almost seems like the beginning of the end. Beginning of his true downfall. The Ace of Wands. It's a new beginning, but it's like with the club. It's not of cups, of love, of warmth and feeling. It's not of pentacles, of the new start, new job, new money coming in, new resources. It's not of the sword, a new awareness, new information. This is of fire. The wand represents fire, and it's a new action. But it just feels to me like it's new, and it's the beginning of the end, and here is the devil. And if he doesn't succeed in his fight or his new attempt to invade the Ukraine now from the south and take over the borders, he'll be taken out. I've always said it began with Putin, it's going to end with Putin. Now, Parkinson's isn't a very fast progressing disease, although we don't know how long he's had it. We haven't had pictures. We haven't seen him with people for a while. I think like standing or talking people or whatever since Trump was president. And he's been disinvited to many of the other meetings. As far as I can tell. I don't know. But Yeah, he is worried. He has a new plan. He's instructing his generals, his government, also his oligarchs, are telling them this is what's going to happen. He's still looking strong, pretending to look strong, although it's just that one video is not showing it that well. There's a new plan, but it's a new cycle, but it feels like the beginning of the end for the devil. And it's just all toxic, all bad. And peace won't come until he's gone. And perhaps his toxicity. I mean, again, anxiety and whatever. He could have ulcers, he could have whatever. Who knows? But it didn't really, it's not that the cards are going to come out and say, he has this. This is what's wrong with him. But he's still putting on a show in his own evil way. But there is anxiety. Over everything that's going on, and probably his health too. So I hope that helped. I hope it was informative to everybody. And I hope everybody has a good weekend. Maybe I'll pop on again. And I shall talk to you later. Thank you for watching my videos, liking them, subscribing to them, your comments. I really do appreciate it. And if you have any suggestions for me to read on, things that you would like me to read on, please let me know. Thank you.